Some dolls are made for children. Others should never have existed. People report whispers in the middle of the night, eyes that seem to follow you from across the room, unexplained scratches appearing on walls. Tonight, you're about to discover 10 of the most haunted dolls in the world. These are not just campfire stories or urban legends. These dolls are real, and some of them are still being watched under lock and key for the safety of everyone else. We begin with the one you might already know, Annabelle, arguably the most famous haunted doll on Earth. Her story began in the 1970s, when a nursing student received the doll as a seemingly innocent gift. But soon after, strange things started to happen. The doll would change positions on its own, moving from room to room when no one was looking. Chilling, handwritten notes started to appear, with messages like "Help us." The student and her roommate, terrified, sought help from paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens concluded that the doll wasn't possessed, but was being manipulated by a dark, inhuman entity. Today, Annabelle is locked inside a specially made glass case at the Warrens' Occult Museum, and every visitor is given a stern warning: never touch her. Next, we travel to Key West, Florida, to meet Robert the doll. This eerie, sailor-suited doll belonged to a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto in the early 1900s. The boy adored the doll, giving it his own name and talking to it for hours. The problem was, the doll started talking back. Servants in the Otto household reported hearing two distinct voices coming from the boy's room when he was supposed to be alone. Objects would be found thrown across rooms. Maniacal laughter would echo through the house at night. After the boy grew up, Robert the doll was locked away in the attic. But his reign of terror wasn't over. Today, Robert sits behind glass in a museum. Visitors who want to take his picture must ask for his permission first. Those who disrespect him or take a photo without asking later report a terrifying string of bad luck. From car accidents and financial ruin to severe illness and vivid nightmares. Some dolls don't need to move to instill fear. Meet Peggy the doll, an object known for something far more sinister than physical movement. People who simply look at Peggy, whether in person or even in photographs, report a wave of debilitating symptoms. Sudden, splitting headaches, overwhelming nausea, a deep, unexplainable sadness that washes over them. Some even claim to feel a chilling presence standing right behind them, as if something has followed them from the image. Paranormal researchers who have studied Peggy believe she carries a profoundly negative and oppressive energy. Even looking at a picture of her is said to be enough to cause lingering fear and anxiety. From England, we travel to Japan, to the Manenji Temple, which houses the Okiku doll. This traditional Japanese doll, dressed in a kimono, once belonged to a little girl named Okiku who died suddenly from a cold. Her family kept the doll in a shrine to honor her memory. But after her death, they noticed something impossible. The doll's hair, originally cut in a short bob, began to grow. Over the years, it has continued to grow, reaching down past the doll's knees. To this day, the monks at the temple regularly trim Okiku's hair, which they say continues to grow back. They believe the restless spirit of the little girl remains inside the doll, forever attached to her favorite toy. Imagine an entire island, not of people, but of dolls. On a remote island in the canals of Xochimilco, near Mexico City, thousands of weathered, decaying dolls hang from the trees. Their limbs are missing, their eyes are hollow, and they stare down at anyone brave enough to visit. A man named Don Julian Santana Barrera placed the first dolls there. He believed he was doing it to appease the spirit of a young girl who had tragically drowned in the canal nearby. For 50 years, he collected and hung dolls. Visitors to the island report hearing whispers carried on the wind. Some swear they've seen the dolls move their heads or track them with their eyes. At night, when the fog rolls in, the island is said to come alive with the spirits of the forgotten. In Italy, an antique doll named Pupa was discovered in a small, symbolic coffin, hinting at a dark past. Pupa was the lifelong companion of a woman who claimed the doll was alive, a confidant who shared her secrets. After the owner's death in 2005, her family placed Pupa in a glass display case. That's when things got strange. Witnesses say her glass eyes seem to open and close on their own. Her serene facial expression appears to change, sometimes contorting into a scowl. Paranormal experts speculate that she may be connected to old death rituals, a vessel meant to carry a spirit from one world to the next. Our next case takes us to an abandoned home where a doll named Jolly Jane was discovered amongst the dust and decay. For years, neighbors had reported strange sounds coming from the empty house at night, doors slamming shut on their own, disembodied voices echoing from within. When the property was finally cleared, Jolly Jane was found. The family who took her in soon realized they had made a terrible mistake. The paranormal activity from the abandoned house didn't stop. It simply followed them. The strange sounds, the moving objects, the feeling of being watched, it all centered around Jolly Jane. In British Columbia, Canada, a doll named Mandy is kept in the Quesnel Museum. Donated by a woman who couldn't stand the strange crying she heard coming from her basement, Mandy quickly made her presence known to the museum's staff. They report electronic equipment malfunctioning around her. Security alarms trigger by themselves in the middle of the night. Eerie shadows are often seen near her glass case. Photographs of Mandy frequently come out blurred, distorted, or completely damaged, as if something is actively preventing its image from being captured. Today, Mandy is never stored alone. Staff believe she becomes more active and destructive when left by herself. Letta the doll is an object so unsettling, many refuse to even be in the same room with her. Discovered under an old, haunted house in Australia, Letta is said to be over 100 years old. Her owner claims she was crafted by a Romani craftsman for his son who had drowned, and that the doll is made using real human hair and contains a portion of the boy's brain. The owner reports that she brings intense nightmares and a constant stream of bad luck. People who have encountered Letta claim to see her change position when no one is watching. Dogs bark and snarl at her, and it's said that rain falls every time she is taken outside. Every culture throughout history has stories of cursed objects: swords, mirrors, chairs, and boxes. But dolls are different. They are made in our image. They have faces. They have eyes. They sit in our homes, silent observers of our daily lives. They look human. They watch us. And sometimes, they remember things we wish they would forget. If you just heard a noise behind you, don't turn around. You've been watching Nightmare Case Files. Subscribe for more haunted objects, real horror stories, and cases that should never be forgotten.